What's happening, YouTube? Cowboy here, and as you can guess, along with the new DLC, we got another video looking at some of the new items. This time around, we're going to be talking about Sir Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt. So the DLC itself was a bit lackluster, in my opinion at least. I mean, it only took, I think, 2 hours in the live stream to get through the main content. And with all the side quests, you can add a couple more hours onto that, but still, definitely not on par with the Torrid campaign of Carnage. But anyway, we got some new weapons to look at, so let's jump into it. First up, we're going to go through the blue ones, and the first one up we have is the Chopper. Now, the Chopper is a drop from Dexidous The Invincible. It's kind of like a hidden invincible boss. Costs a shit ton of iridium to summon this guy, and that's a whole different, bundle of fun. So I'm not going to go into all that, but basically you get this off of him, and the main thing you'll notice is, look at the magazine size on this bitch. 1239. That's more ammunition than I can even carry. So, as you can see, the whole clip is basically put into this gun, and not only that, but once you start shooting it, it just keeps going. So, we'll just tap the trigger, and you can see how this thing just ramps up and begins spraying out an indefinite amount of bullets. So to stop this, you pretty much have to switch weapons. As you can see, if I switch back, it's stopped firing finally. This drifter's all pissed off. But yeah, definitely interesting. I'm planning on trying that one out. Oh, come on, Drifter, chill out. I definitely want to see how that works. Dual wielding two of those babies with a Gunzerker with like extra ammo, regen, and whatnot. Could be a pretty brutal combo. But after that, we're going to be looking at the Rex. Now, the Rex is the new pistol. It drops during the off the Bulstoss guy. I think that's his name. It's during the side quest Acquired Taste. And as you can see, basically just a shit ton of damage on this. So, it's around the same as the Maggie. I think the Maggie still hits a little bit harder than this, and the fire rate on this is kind of slow, even though it's a Jacobs. You can see, even hitting the trigger as fast as possible, fire rate's not all that spectacular, but still, I mean, fat chunk of damage for a pistol. This damn Marsh Drifter would stand still. Demonstrate it. This guy has crazy dodging skills. But non-criticals are hitting about 70,000. So, not bad. Honestly, I think it's god damn, this Drifter's on my ass. But, I don't know. A little lackluster in my opinion, just because even with the high damage, the fire rate is so terrible. You can't really do much with it. Down from there, we have the Damn Cowboy. As you can see, this was put into the game. It was named after me, just because of how awesome I am. And this drops from Bloodtail during the quest Now You Can See It. And it's similar to the Hammer Buster. I mean, you got high damage for an assault rifle, high accuracy. The slow rate, or the fire rate's pretty slow, similar to the Rex, but I mean, I don't know. It's another one of those guns that just kind of fell short. I mean, 20,000 for an AR is nice. Fire rate's not as fast as I'd like it to be, but still, I mean, if you want to do a little assault rifle sniping, it could be nice for that. Moving on from there, though, we have the Elephant Gun. Now, similar to Borderlands 1, the Elephant Gun basically just boasts a ridiculously high amount of damage, and along with that, it's iron sights and bolt action. So, as you can see here, I actually gotta reload this thing slow as hell to reshoot it. But it certainly takes down those baddies when you hit them right. But interesting gun to play around with. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it for all the time, just because similar to the Cowboy and the Rex, we got the terrible fire rate on that. But moving on from there, we have three other blues that came with the DLC. First one up is going to be the Hydra. And as you can see, the damage on this thing is pretty ridiculous with a ×22 modifier, 5 heads of death, and just like it states, as you can see, we got a 5-shot spray coming off on this thing. And it's a true Jacob, so now we can shoot this thing off as fast as possible. I mean, this thing burns through shotgun ammo, but I'd like to see how this would work on a bigger boss. So I'd imagine something like, Terramorphous or Hermivorous or the new Invincible, Verdasius or whatever the hell his name was. I mean, if you're right up on somebody's face, I'd imagine this thing's gonna hurt. Moving on from there, though, we have the Twister. Now, the Twister I actually had to trade for. I haven't been able to make this one drop yet, but it is a pretty damn awesome shotgun. I mean, 10,000 by 19, so the damage is pretty cool to begin with. But as you can see, when we shoot, we get these little electrical twisters. So this is definitely a gun I'm looking forward to messing around with on the Necromancer. I think it would be awesome to just fire these things off and watch them just completely wreck enemies. Let me see if I can find if there's any baddies nearby. Damn it, should have picked a better area to do the video with more baddies, but either way, I mean, definitely a cool effect in the shotgun. Here we go. This drifter's going to play with it. We'll see what our lightning twister can do to this baddie. One downside is obviously something that's far away. I mean, these things are slow as hell, and it managed to walk away before the tornado made it to it, so definitely more of a, like, close quarters combat shotgun. Come on, hit him in the face. Stop moving, baddie. So if you can hit stuff with it, it's pretty good. I mean, regardless, like I said, it's still awesome just shooting off these little electrical tornadoes. But as you can see, a good one hitting this dude in the face was able to take him down. But down from there, we have the boom. And I'm not sure if this is actually supposed to be in the game. I feel like it kind of falls into the same category as the error message. This is another weapon that I had to trade with for. And as you can see, the damage doesn't look all that crazy, you know, falling just under 250,000. But I mean, it's just like the error message, you know, we don't even get like a real scope on this, and it shoots out harpoons. As you can see, it had a bit of a bullet drop. But the interesting thing about this gun is the damage is nowhere near what it says it is. The damage is actually upwards of 1 million. So, come on, stand still. Stand still. I need some regular fucking things to shoot with. You can see right there. Basically 1,067,000 on that hit right there. So, yeah, definitely don't trust it when it says it's just 250. But like I said, I haven't found a drop location of this one. I don't know if it actually spawns in the game. Might be an item you have to trade for. Moving on from there, let's take a look at some of the Seraph weapons. So first up, we got the Interfacer, because it enters your face, get it? And Interfacer is actually pretty cool. Damage isn't all that spectacular, but the bullet pattern, as you can see, we get some bullets going straight at them, and then a secondary group of bullets that are going to curve around and hit our target. This is another one that's pretty interesting along with the Twister. Even though the damage isn't as high, I'd imagine on some of the bigger bosses this would allow you to put out some pretty intense damage, especially if you can find one with an element on it. Moving on from the Interfacer, though, we have the Potent Infection. Typical repeater pistol, but the big thing to notice here is the chance to corrode combined with the corrosion damage per second. So we're looking at 70% chance to corrode along with a massive damage per second. I mean, that's a lot of corrosion. I mean, the accuracy isn't anything spectacular, to say in the least, but I think in terms of just raw corrosive damage, this might be one of the stronger weapons in the game. And see, scoped in, it's not as bad as it was hip firing, but as you can see, we're not even shooting bullets. It's just more like these big globs of acid that are coming out. So if you're a fan of corrosion, this might be one to look into. Because we can see the damage is terrible. At only, 2,600, but the corrosive potential on this is pretty nasty. Moving down from there, though, we have the Hawkeye, one of the new snipers. Now, the big thing on this, obviously, as you can see, is it has 580% critical hit damage. So the raw damage of this isn't too high. We're just under 15,000. But with a 580 critical hit chance, you can imagine this thing could get pretty disgusting, especially on a good zero build where you're working with critical ascension. This would probably be the strongest sniper rifle in the game for that particular build. So if we can find another one of our long-legged friends to play with. Let me see if there's one over. Maybe we'll find one over here. I really like to shoot something in the face, see what kind of critical damage we get on this. So we'll take a little trip over here. We'll find something. There's got to be a baddie somewhere around here, right? I mean, it's Borderlands. You can only run for so long in Borderlands before there's just like hordes of assholes showing up that want to fight. Where is everybody at? Okay, should be some guys that spawn right over here, so let's see. Hopefully there's someone over here. One of the savage guys. Anybody? Oh, here we go. We got one. Alright. So Savage Trigger Man. This thing has a decent amount of sway on it. Wow. Must just be that terrible at this. There we go. 500k. That looked like it was on his face. Maybe that stupid little mask is protecting him. Wow, maybe it is. I don't know. But either way, and the first guys you saw, 500k from a crit. And that's on Siren, so I'd imagine, yeah, if you're running like Critical Ascension with zero, this could get pretty disgusting. But moving down from there, we have the Lead Storm. decent damage, decent magazine size, but the special thing about the lead storm, as you can see, is it basically provides a storm. The bullets have a slight parabola pattern similar to the hail, which is the one you get from the bandit side quest. Not all that effective, as you can see. I've gone through a whole clip already and managed to finally get one of these assholes down. Let's try another one. I mean, I don't know. As fast as this thing burns through ammo, I wouldn't recommend it, but it's a pretty cool effect, needless to say. Down from there, I think we just have the one gun left. If I'm correct. Yes. So those are our 4 Seraph weapons, and you get these from the Seraph door. It's right back where we were at in the clubhouse over there, back where like you spawn and whatnot. And you basically get that from there's like the Seraph Ender in there. Just look for the eyes on the wall. But the final weapon we have is the Yellow Jacket, and this one you get from the boss Jackenstein during the main quest. It's a E-Tech SMG, lightning. I don't know if they're all lightning, but this one certainly is, and it's pretty awesome. As you can see, it looks like the balls actually disappear, but they are hitting much farther. As you can see right here, the balls will fade away, but we can see the bullets popping up there. And this one's pretty cool for an E-Tech. We haven't seen a new like unique E-Tech in a while. So let's play with this Witch Doctor with it, see how fast it gets him down. Damage is not spectacular, but interesting bullet pattern. No, you need to stop that fire. But definitely a cool one to have. But either way, let's see, I think we have... one last thing we have, of course, can't forget. The new Breath of the Seraphs. So as you remember, we already have Blood of the Seraphs, Might of the Seraphs. Now we're on to Breath of the Seraphs. In this one, we're looking at damage bonus and extra health regen when you come back from Second Wind. Not all that amazing. I think for Dexidous The Invincible, this could actually be quite useful. Cause it's a fight where pretty much you're going to go down. Like, it's almost guaranteed. So, in that particular fight, I could see this being quite useful just because, 6% health regen as soon as you get up will help to get you back to max health fast. And then that extra 35% damage bonus will help you, pump some damage into him before he knocks you down again. We're going to segue into another clip real quick, because I forgot one last weapon, and that is the new shield, the Rough Rider. Now, you get this one off the monster, the Bullwark, during the quest Palling Around. And as you can see, there's no shield capacity, but we do get 20,000 max health off of it, and then 20% resistance to all damage. So, it's an interesting shield. I mean, not having any shield up is it's definitely something that would take a little bit getting used to, but I mean, there are certain class perks that benefit from not having a shield at all. Like, there's a Gunzerker trait where you get extra fire rate from not having your shield down. So, in certain situations, I could actually see this working in for quite a beneficial build, especially if you manage to combo it with enough health regeneration to where, you just had a build focused completely around health. So, that's all there is to it for the new Sir Hammerlock's DLC items. As always, guys, thanks for watching. If you have any comments or questions, leave them below, and we'll see you with the next video.